Hang in there. You can't do Vlogmas without a voice. Challenge accepted. If I lose my voice, you guys are going to get a Vlogmas still. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry that I sound like this, but sickness hit. Sickness hit Indiana, and let me tell you, all the kids are getting sick and change of the season and all that. So yep, sickness hit, and there was actually a kindergarten classroom that had 10 kids out. 10. That is unheard of. That's like half our class. It was a few days ago, and I actually had a few pre-recorded videos for you all, so that's what you guys have been seeing the last few days, which I'm so glad. The coding was about the last video that I made before I got sick. So I actually lost my voice a few days ago. It's definitely back today, so I've just been taking some extra measures to stay healthy. I'm using my Airborne. I am doing hot tea at night. I always do hot tea at night, but I'm doing hot tea and I'm putting a little lemon juice in it. Then I'm going to bed early, and I'm skipping the gym right now. I need to rest up so I can finish out the rest of December. So I'm gonna get to school, and I am going to show you today. I'm going to show you what my favorite winter reads are. So I'm going to tell you in my classroom what my favorite books are. I read to my students, and then when I get home today, I'm going to tell you what books I am reading as an adult human being, for like reading for pleasure at home. So I will see you guys at school. What's that middle sound? So normally when I'm in computer lab, I pull a teacher table and then I work with kiddos. So here's my computer lab basket. I have just some stuff in here. Some sheet of paper. I've got some of these nonsense words to work on. I usually have like a little game. 5 more minutes of our code, guys. I'm so excited. Super stoked. Clearly Minecraft is the favorite this year. Minecraft and the puppy game. I haven't seen the Hot Wheels one. That's cool. Class. Classity class. It's time. Guess who completed Hour of Code 2017? Yay! Good job. Say yes. Yes. Say I can code. Say I'm gonna make the next Minecraft.
I'm gonna make the next Minecraft.
Say I'm gonna give my teacher $1 million when I do.
I'm gonna give my teacher $1 million.
So, funny story. I dropped my lunch all over the floor. And yes, it is snowing in Indiana. It is our first snow. It's 27 degrees right now. It is freezing. We haven't felt this cold since earlier this year. So, yeah. Snowing. And the kids are crazy every single time. If it snows where you live, the kids go crazy at the first sign of snow. So I'm so glad that it started snowing right before recess, so they can just go run off all the energy. Like, yeah, you go catch all the snowflakes. Just go run at them. Just get out all your energy. Panera coming to my rescue. Well, perfect timing. I have my Panera. I ended up getting a French onion soup. These are one of the lower calorie options. Definitely high in sodium, but you know, what can you do when you drop your lunch all over the floor? And I got a tomato mozzarella panini. I love these things. And then I also got a small hazelnut coffee. So ooh. Alright, guys. Clearly I did not get to share my winter reads in the classroom, so I picked them and I'm going to do them at home. So I got my books and I'm gonna go home and get some of my other adult reads that I have too, and we will chit chat with the voice that I have left on my favorite winter reads. Okay, I'll see you in a second. I have been nursing my throat all day with tea and coffee. Like every time that my voice gets like a little bit quiet with the laryngitis, my kids are like, Miss Lacer, you should drink another coffee. And I'm like, I know guys, I know. And I really apologize with my hair. Like, I know I started off like real cute and did my hair and all at the beginning of the Vlogmas, Teachmas, but you know what guys? This is reality. If you're gonna become a teacher, buns save lives. So today I've got some books. I'm going to do a winter reads for this Teachmas Day, and I'm going to have my favorite read alouds for winter reads, and I'm also going to have my favorite books that I am going to read throughout the winter. I also did this back in the fall, so if you're interested, up at the top here. But other than that, let's get started with my favorite read aloud. We do reading workshop at my school, a lot of trade books. We use the trade books for different types of skills all year long, but there's just something so special about winter and holiday books. So I've got some holiday books here, I've got some Christmas books, and I've also got some books that just have to do with winter. So the first one is gonna be called The Snow Beast, and this is written by Chris Judge. Super cute because it's a really good for view or perspective, because at first, you know, it looks like it's a terrifying snow beast, but then as you read on, it is more like kind of like a Grinch. Like it reminds me of the Grinch. Snow Beast is adorable. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that a couple of weeks ago, I got in like a crazy Home Alone stage where I just like sat down and watched Home Alone multiple times. Like just like a classic to me. And guys, they made a Home Alone book and it is the same exact thing as the movies. It is the cutest freaking book ever. It's based on a true story written by John Hughes and directed by Chris Columbus. Basically it goes through and the pictures are phenomenal. Really, really, really good for making connections, text to self, text to text, and text to world. You could also do perspective on this one, but we use this for connections in my first grade classroom. So Home Alone, highly recommended. My next two books, I actually have two of them, but we're only gonna talk about just like the idea of Otis. So they have an Otis, and then they have an Otis at Christmas time. So we're gonna put Otis at Christmas time down because it also is absolutely adorable. But if you guys don't have Otis in your classroom, it is so good. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love Otis. I fell in love with Otis a few years ago when this first came out, and he's like my favorite character. We reference this book a lot, and I also like it because it's a really big book. Like look at the size of my head. It's a really big book, and the pages are really, really big, and they're really, really relatable. So what happens is Otis is the favorite tractor on the farm, and a new tractor comes in town. So then Otis isn't needed anymore. So he's kind of pushed off to the side, but he did make a friend, and that is this baby calf. And what happens is the baby calf gets stuck in the mud, and the baby calf is scared by everyone but Otis. So Otis basically saves the day at the very end. And it just talks about perseverance and author's point of view, making connections. It's really, really good for main idea and theme of the story, because you can talk about, you know, perseverance and why did the author write this book? Maybe something happened to the author to make them write this book. You know, what could we learn from Lauren? So this is a really good book on making connections as well. Like, has there ever been a time where something new and great has come along and made you feel really, really sad because you weren't as good as that new thing? So yeah, this is such a cute book. Highly recommend in the lower grades. At Christmas time is even cuter, so you'll have to get that if you are interested. If you like the regular Otis, definitely get Otis at Christmas time. It's so cute. Two more for you for winter reads in the classroom. So next, obviously, Mistletoe. Basically what happens is that the moose wants everything to be right, and these moose are quite like fancy. They want everything to be perfectly perfect. That's like one of the things, or that's a kind of a catchphrase that this whole thing goes through. So Christmas time is perfect, and everything has to be perfect. They realized they forgot to get the tree, and they went out and they couldn't find one, and they realized that, you know, Christmas doesn't have to be perfect. There could be some things that are not perfect about it. So in the very end, they end up working together and making the dad the Christmas tree. So it's just a really, really cute book for, you don't have to be perfect at everything. So also theme and main idea and key details. This one's a really good one for that. So love Mistletoe. And my very last one, guys, is my absolute favorite to read at Christmas time. You can also read it in the winter. It is absolutely such a good book. Like, I literally tear up every single time I read this book. So funny because I like sit down and I'm like, okay, you know, you read through the end of the book and you're like, wasn't that touching, guys? And they're like, why are you crying, Miss Lacer? And I'm like, because it was a good book, okay? It was such a good book. It touched me in my feels. It was so good. Heart of a Snowman. So good. Like, I love Polar Express. That gets me every time too. But Heart of a Snowman, guys, oh my goodness. It's so good. So basically what happens is that there's this little boy and his little sister. In the middle of the night, Owen sees a light, and it's like this giant snowman spaceship that's sucking his snowman up. So he decides to grab onto it, and he gets sucked into this world of snowmen, like this crazy spaceship of snowmen. And they're taking all of the snowmen apart. So the kids are like, oh my gosh, like, why are they killing all the snowmen? Like, it gets really, really traumatic for a little bit, but it's okay, keep reading. Why are you ripping apart my snowman? And it goes throughout the book, and there's a lot of animals that are teaming up together, and they're like, leave me alone, like, we're working. And he's getting really, really upset. And then by the very end, he finally demands to know what is happening to his snowman. And they learned that they're putting a heart into the snowman so he can live forever. That first snowball that you make to make snowmen is the heart of a snowman. And they took him apart to preserve him so he will live forever. So then at the very end, it says, don't you know, it's not the sun that melts the snowman, said Owen. It's his heart. And you're crying, and all the kids are looking at you like you're crazy because they're not crying yet because first graders aren't ready to be emotionally attached to books yet. So, yeah. Sometimes it gets awkward, but that's okay. Okay, so really quickly, I am going to discuss books that I am reading at home as a human, not as a teacher. There are some books that I'm currently reading as, like, for pleasure for myself. Back in the fall, I said that I was reading the Mara Dyer series, and I completed all of them, and they are so good. This is the last one. This is the last one, and it was so good. Highly recommend if you like kind of the young adult series stuff. Look into Mara Dyer. It's super, super good. So after learning about Mara Dyer, I learned about the Hush Hush. This is a great angle. Great job, Ash. The Hush Hush series. So don't be like discouraged of the front. It's kind of like weird graphics, but it's a really good series too. And it's also a young adult series. Hunger Games, like if you liked the Mara Dyer series, you definitely would like Hush Hush. And I'm kind of liking Hush Hush better than Mara Dyer, and I really liked Mara Dyer. So there are actually 4 of these. There's one not in here. I'm reading that one right now. Nora is drawn to Patch against her better judgment. Together they embark on a romance which transcends the boundaries between heaven and earth. So it's a really, really good book. I really, really like it. Last one is a self-help book, which I don't have a lot of self-help books, but I definitely have 2 of them that I really like. One of them I'm gonna share with today. The other one we can talk about at a different time. So this is called You Are a Hopefully there's no kids watching because I just cussed. It's How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. And this is written by Jen Cicero. It is such a good book, but this isn't like a book that you would just sit down and read through. I read this, like, clearly I have some marked pages in here. I read through it whenever I'm kind of doubting myself. Hello? You already said hello today. Like, I'm trying to tell them about you are a badass. Don't repeat that word. You're not allowed to use that word. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Hopefully you guys don't ever get sick of seeing my pets because they're basically my life. It should be like Coffee and Firsties and Lacey and me because that's what I love. And then Greg, you know, I love you too, babe. This is a self-help book that kind of helps you get through those times of feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not a good teacher. There's so many times that teachers are doubted in society. You know, parents can doubt you, your kids can doubt you, you can doubt yourself, evaluation systems can doubt you, so it can get really hard sometimes. So having this book, and this book isn't written for teachers, it's written for everyone. I find myself referencing this book a lot when I get stressed out, because by the end you'll understand why you are, how to love what you can change, how to change what you don't love, and how to use the Force to kick some serious. So I definitely highly recommend this for teachers who are self-doubting themselves. I'm not gonna cuss anymore on my channel because I felt really uncomfortable doing that. So I'm a first grade teacher and I can't do that. So, okay, that is gonna be all for today. I'm gonna go rest my voice. Like this video if you guys like hearing what kind of books I use in the classroom and why, and if you guys like me sharing what books I'm personally reading, I'll keep doing them if you like them. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another Coffee Crew video, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. Bye! What book do you like? What book do you like, huh? What's your favorite book? Do you like Heart of the Snow? It's Heart of the Snowman? That's my favorite too!